Okay, they cut that video off, but I told you the trick I'm using to make sure they can't keep cutting me off. Anyway, so at one point I've not been in the middle and I could hear it because it's out loud. That's the point. If it's out loud, you can hear it without any device. So the other big deal is that because I have a 4G phone, they keep saying that obviously I'm not the one doing it. We already know I'm not the one doing it. The other point that I want to make, I'm going to pause this for one moment because I want to think about exactly what I want to say before they cut me off. Okay, so I wanted to let you know. So you don't have to be between 2 points. It's out loud anyway, but between 2 points is how they said that they set it up. So what they were doing was they were doing it upstairs, downstairs, neighbor to neighbor. You don't have to do it that way. There were times when they didn't do it neighbor to neighbor or upstairs, downstairs. It worked or it didn't work. What they were doing was trying to shut it off and on to keep me running around. But I physically couldn't run around because of all the things that they did to me. The other big thing I want to tell you is they were talking about, like I said, racist things. It's extremely racist. And that's part of why I know this isn't an American system. They're upset that I keep saying it's foreign. Because we're going to just do logic here. If it were American system, we have civil rights. The racism is a harassment. You know, the noise in itself is harassment. The racism is harassment. They want me to sue. But if you are trying to convince me to sue, they wanted me to sue River Bay. They wanted me to sue Lacoste. They wanted me to sue. There was someone else that they wanted me to sue. They had a whole list of goals, and I'm going to put this on the playlist. So one of the goals I'm going to say is to sue people. So the whole point was if they wanted to do it that way, they wouldn't use the racism. Why? Because racism is a completely different thing. And they said what they were trying to do is get as many people involved as possible, but they're not realizing that in order to have a class action lawsuit, which would involve them, you couldn't just use racism. And that's how I'm telling you that something's wrong with their way of thinking, their brains, you know, because if you're saying that it's just racism, it means that this goes to a different type of lawsuit. But then they brought in all these other people. These other people wouldn't qualify for racism. So this is something foreign where they thought that, you know, people would just write a check. That doesn't work. When you have a class action lawsuit, you can't just write a check for all these people. But it's also different once you add racism. As a Black person, saying monkey in the middle, and that's something Felicia said that they used to say about me. I don't remember any of one calling me a monkey in the middle. That must have been something that she wrote down in her little notebook on me. And that's my point. There's something wrong with this whole situation. And when I said it before, they stole that idea from me because that's the whole goal. They said, you know, the goal was to steal my ideas. But if you're publicly stealing my ideas and I'm the one doing it, then it's not you doing it. It doesn't make sense. There's something wrong with their logic. But the other point that I want to make about this, in trying to create a class action lawsuit, it would have to be investigated. So they said they called the police today. That's another big point I wanted to make. They said they called the police today because something happened in the lobby and they said they gave my name. That's identity theft. We're talking about people who don't have common sense to stop. When you catch them doing something wrong, they keep doing it. It's like and I told you this in a previous video. It's like there's something it's like their brains it's like the drilling. And that's my point. And you stand back from that scene because you're in shock that there are humans that exist this way and that nobody stops them. Someone has to stop them from doing this. And if that involves calling the police on them, getting restraining orders against them, putting them in prison, putting them in mental institutions, that has to happen. Because these are people, no matter how many times you try to get them to stop, they keep doing the same things over and over and over again. And that's my point. There's something wrong with these folks. I don't feel safe around them. I don't want other people to be around them because there's something wrong with them. There's something seriously wrong with them. Thank you for watching.